Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to a night of Healing Room Tarot. I was, first of all, I have been MIA for a while. Um, didn't hit live on my other. Sorry. Thank you for again. Thank you for tuning in to Healing Room Tarot. I have been um, going through a change of sorts, a process of sorts. And whenever a transition, there we go. So, whenever you're going through a transition, you have things that you need to do. So that's why I haven't been on as much outside of cards and conversations. But now, I think I'm going to start. Do not think this is the kickoff for something new that I will be doing. So you can catch me live every Monday for a healing review. Um, if this is your first time coming, you know that my tarot is about your healing. A lot of people need to heal from things, and that's the basis of everything that we do, is because a lot of people refuse to heal, don't know how to heal, don't know what's coming, or things of that nature. So that's why I stick to healing. Now sometimes other things like career moves and love does come out because that all impacts you, right? You all still need to should heal from things that happen on your jobs, that happen in your personal lives, and things of that nature. So it doesn't take those things out of the equation, but just know that I teach and deal with things of healing. Um, and if you have caught our cards and conversations, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so there is a huge following there, but we talk about whatever the cards say. So I'm going to get into tonight. First, I am going to start off with the oracle cards, um, just to kind of see what it is that Spirit would like to first tell us is the focus of this review. We're going to start there, and then we're going to get into what is what I would call like the personal things that we should focus on. And the card that comes out is Initiation by Air. Initiation by Air. So let's read what that is all about. Um, doo-doo-doo-doo. Initiation by Air. You have a strong and powerful mind. The mind can be a great asset. It can bring comfort, peace, and strength as you take your spiritual journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force, undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart, and keeping you trapped in fear. The mind developed without a loving spiritual practice can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. How will you choose to use your mind power? Your mind can become more spacious and luminous yeah, if you practice emptying it on a regular basis. The radiant mind can be a mighty warrior against fear and despair, encouraging you with thoughts of optimism. When not given a chance to empty, however, the mind becomes overwhelmed with unprocessed information. Much of it will be fear based programming perpetuated by mass media, which is invested in controlling others and manipulating them by fear. This initiation, which liberates and opens the mind, empowers advanced souls to free themselves from manipulation and control. The hallmark of a dysfunctional society is that the mind is expected to dominate the inclinations of the heart rather than serve it. The mind can be trained to be a great manager, creator, and defender of what has genuine value to the heart. But the power to feel what has meaning for us, what moves us enough to rise above our fears and risk growth, comes from the heart, not the mind. When the mind is given the task to feel and the heart is told to not feel, paralysis, confusion, and discomfort are experienced. As you enter into this initiation, you will feel the need to step back from what you have been taught and learn to question what you once held to be true. As you disengage from habitual mental patterns, you'll begin to observe your thoughts rather than be swept up in them. Soon you will begin to experience yourself as the peaceful, steady light of love that you are in truth. Will the mind go through its motions? Yes. However, there is no need to be afraid of this. One step at a time, your spirit shall guide your mind back towards peace. You will change the way you relate to your own mind, becoming more empowered. As you soften the strident action of the mind, you will see that you can use your mental gifts wisely rather than allowing them to cause you pain. Those who have strong mental energies can accomplish much in terms of communication, invention, and creativity, but they often also suffer from destructive self talk and mental obsessions. They may even be addicted to thinking, which can wear them out and create cravings for sugar that can lead to depression and illness. Instead, it is much better to regularly take time out from the mind and be in the moment, feeling energized, playful, and at peace. Your mind is a powerful creature. Tame it with persistence, compassion, kindness, and strength. Give yourself rest and an opportunity to switch off and empty your mind as regularly as you can. There is no need to judge or despair. This is an advanced initiation and one that is brought to you only when you are ready. Consider it a sign of your spiritual progress. The world will benefit you as you learn to handle your mental energies and more constructively. This oracle is indeed an omen of greater peace and happiness in your imminent future. Your invocation: I call upon the unconditionally loving ones to help me empty and refresh my mind, renewal, and eternal love. May I express my freedom in making wise decisions that create joy and love in me and in the world. I ask for divine mercy, compassion, protection, and instruction to assist me in bringing my mind into a loving consciousness. May the light of the divine shine unobstructed through my mind, bringing peace to the world. May the unconditionally loving helpers of humanity help bring light, healing, and joy to the minds of all through my own free will. So be it. So, this is, um, again, initiation by air. Um, if you're just tuning in earlier, I talked about how I stepped away for a bit, outside of the cards and conversations, or hadn't been on as much because of a transition period. And hey, it's even spoke to me of what is happening right now, for me. So, but we're all, for those who are watching, this is also for you. I'm going to show you the card again, because if you notice how the light is coming towards the person, it is, or out of the person, it is in the shape of birds, which is ultimate freedom. Birds, um, flying, taking flight. There's a process that happens when a bird takes flight. They don't just learn. They don't just come out of the egg and start flying. No, there's a process, which means that right now a lot of us are going through a process that is teaching us how to lighten the load, that is teaching us how to not become stressful, how to put down and step away from things that causes a lot of stress, especially a lot of mental stress, right? Because most of the time, whenever we are going through something, it is because we're having some type of mental um, I don't want to say mental handicap, but we're having like a mental struggle. That's the word I want to use. And as I say that, I see a seat built across the brain, like literally, that's the visual that I have. Um, and it means that your mind cannot expand. It can't think outside of the norm. It can't do outside of the box thinking. So, have you? So, have you? So, when you're under that much restriction, it's think of a vacuum cleaner, how it sucks in the air. And if you are sucking in a lot of trash, eventually you have to change the bag. But what's happening is that a lot of people are getting all like a lot of negative energy, a lot of negative interactions, a lot of things, as the card stated, from the media, and they're taking it in, but they're not filtering it out. And so what you're doing is you're putting more junk on top of more junk on top of more junk on top of more junk. And Spirit is saying right now, I need you to clear that out, because I need your headspace to be in a place where when I start doing things for you, when I start showing you things, when I start sending you signs, that you pick up on it immediately, so that you can live a more prosperous and healthier life. And I say prosperous in the way of whatever is meant for you will be for you, because we tend to miss out on opportunities when we are not centered, when we're not focused, when we're not able to pull away from the things around us to go towards the things that Spirit would have for us. And the best way to do that is whenever you pull away in things. There's even certain social media platforms that I've pulled away from, not completely, mainly because I do a lot of work on them, but enough where I'm not taking in as much. And I will say, at first it was hard, because I'm like, I've been used to listening to certain shows on television or on YouTube, you listening to different speakers, to other tarot readers, um, because it's support, and it encourages me, and even in my craft. So to have to pull away so that I can focus now, so that I can be a better reader for you all, a better messenger for you all, I realized that I have to kick out and clear out some of that, the things that I receive off the TV. And not to say that everything was bad, because there were some things that would spark a conversation with certain friends. And in those conversations, some truths were shared, some light was shared, and solutions. So I'm not going to say that all media is bad, but you do have to step away, right? You have to reset. You have to let things. I'm hearing let bygones be bygones when it comes to stepping away from people, places, and things. Um, you just have to. And so these are. I have my direction cards. So I'm here with me. This is, at least this is what I call them. Um, and so we're going to see what Spirit is saying in this initiation by air. What would you like the collective to know about their initiation by air? And I will say this, as I was meditating earlier before the reading, I saw a young guy in a helmet, a construction worker's helmet. So I don't know if you all know somebody, like I said, a very young guy, like I would say late 20s, early 30s, if anything. Um, so if you're inquiring about that person, or you know somebody and you know that they're going through things, please share this video with them. Please share my link for that person so that they can see what spirit is trying to say to them, or if it's for you concerning that person, please take it. Um, the message isn't solely for that person, but I did want to share what I saw, the image that I saw as I was meditating earlier. Okay, I stopped because Spirit first wants me to talk about revisiting a time in your life when things weren't so stressful. Um, and the premise of that is going back. And as I'm starting, I do want to share that the devil card just flipped out. Um, Spirit is basically saying, think back to what you were doing when your life wasn't as stressful as it is now, or if it has been stressful in the last few months. Think about before those last few months happened. What were you doing that was keeping you grounded, was keeping you keeping your mind mentally refreshed? Because it's like some of those things you have to go back to doing. It's that home remedy type of thing. If you knew your grandmother gave you cod liver oil mixed with chicken noodle soup, I don't know. Like that's what's coming up right now. So don't judge me. Um, and as nasty as it is, you notice that once that remedy hit your stomach, all ailments went away. It's this same type of instruction. It's like Spirit is saying, go back to those things that kept you happy, because many, and I'll say us. I'm not going to exclude myself. Many of us have walked away from the things that kept us at peace, that gave us that refreshing, and Spirit is saying it's time for you to go back towards it, because there's some things that I want to share with you, some things I want to do for you, that I need your. I literally heard divine attention, not your divided attention, but your divine attention, meaning the divine that is within needs to hear this message. Um, it's that awakening the beast from within, right? If the beast don't get the message to wake up, the beast will never come out. So there's some things inside of your heart, something in your mind, some things that you wish to do, and you're not doing them because you're not being released to do them. It's like, I want this, I want to I need a sign. There we go. People often ask for signs and wonders to start a thing, like if this man come in here wearing a red tie, I know that this is my guy, things like that. Or, if she runs past me, I'll know that, that my manager is going to give me a promotion. Something weird. Like we always have these conditions of, and want these signs of, and Spirit is saying, in order for you to receive the message, you have to clear out the loud noise, the negative energy. So going back to the tarot card, right? So again, the devil came out, and the devil is that controlling energy. It's that energy of distraction. The devil don't want to see you succeed, right? So the devil will use anything and anyone to distract you. So what you have to do is you have to stay focused. You have to clear out the things that's demonizing your spiritual world, that thing that's causing hell in your life, basically. You have to remove those things, remove those people, get away from those people. The next card is Two of Wands, right? You have some decisions to make, right? Are you going to leave or are you going to stay? I suggest leaving if it's something that's causing distress, because and it doesn't matter who it is, right? You will want to leave these people alone because I mean, and it's like if it's a family situation, just know that your family will always be there. You can disconnect from your family and you can set up boundaries for your family and you can go back to your family if and when you want to on your own terms, not because they made you do these things. So please understand that you have options even with family members because we are all human, we're all people, we all have needs, we all have different needs. And if someone to say that their need is greater than your need, that's like a narcissistic comment because although it's minute to them, that could be like the thing that's majorly impacting your life right now. So I do want to share that. Then I have the next card, the King of Cups. Focus on your happiness. Focus on your peace. The King of Cups is balanced in nature, balanced in what's coming towards them, what's not. I have to talk about the ocean. So the ocean has this thing where you know how when you go to the beach and you see things that are washed up along the shore and they were things that probably from a few feet away from you somebody's hat or something that was stirred up from the bottom of the ocean that is now resurfacing and has been pushed to the shore. What That's what the King of Cups energy is like. The King of Cups is like, in order for me to experience my true happiness, I'm going to get rid of everything that does not belong here. uh the things that cause me trouble, the people that cause me pain, I need to push them away from me, get them out of my system so that I can go on forward with my life. And that's a balanced energy emotionally and mentally, because what you're saying is that um, I'm getting out of the devil's grasp, because to continue to hold on to these people and these things means that you got your attention focused backwards while trying to move forward. And I know that a lot of people, often say, well, this person did this thing to me and I can never forget. Try to. Try your best to forget. Not for them, for you. Because one of the things is that when you can forget a thing, it means that it's not in the forefront of your mind. Like if someone was to bring it up, you'd be like, oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Because you've made it an afterthought. So kill out the thoughts that are coming up here to the front of your mind, where your ideas and your creations and your creativity and your industry lies. Especially those of you that are trying to break into the in a industry, no matter what the industry is, you can't have a clear vision unless you get rid of the things that's distracting you. Anytime you see your ex, does it bother you? Anytime somebody brings up your ex name, does it bother you? That means you have that person in the forefront of your mind, whether or not you have seen that person or not. Whether or not you recognize that that person has that much still of a stronghold on you. because at some point, the mention of that person's name should not bother you. A picture should not bother you. It should be like, oh wow, I was in a different place in my life. And you go. The next card is the Queen of Wands. You take control, taking control of your destiny. So remember, you got the Two of Wands means you had to make a decision. The Queen of Wands is I have made my decision. I know which road I'm going to take. I know what I'm going to do. And on this road, anything that is blocking me from my blessings, I'm going to get rid of them because you already know you already know what you have to do in order to get your happiness, to get the things that you need the most. You already know the decision you have to make, so just make it. Because remember, you're being initiated into the air. In order for you to be initiated into the air, you must be light. You can't carry around dead weight. Even birds pluck out feathers that are worn or that have been tattered. And the place that you're going to go is not a place where it's going to be tattered. Anything is going to be tattered. You're going to go to a place where you need to be swift on your feet, swift of the mind, swift of the tongue. And again, in order to do these things, you have to lighten the load. You have to get rid of these things. You have to unset. Not unset. You have to unload and reset your mind. We have to do that with our phones, with our computers. We have to cut them off sometimes. We have to cut them off from the internet waves, the Wi-Fi's, the all types of signals that come to the phone. We have to cut it off sometimes so that the phone can reset and reboot so it can give you a better signal. Same thing you have to do. I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck now. Huh. It is the Emperor. The Emperor has it's like it's like the Empress. The Emperor is that I have got it together, and because it is masculine energy, it is I'm taking the reins, I'm taking the directives, I have this control because and it's like some things don't. I'm literally getting this right now. Some things don't require you to be soft, doesn't require you to be nurturing the feminine like energy and qualities. I'm literally seeing it's like a hammer to the nail, get it done. Strike it how it needs to be strike. Hit the head every single time. You will hit your mark every single time. And as you do that, you start to break up things that were solid, that were unmovable in your life. You start to break up things, the walls, the mental walls that you placed up in your head. You begin to break those down because you realize that that type of thinking, that way of living, is restrictive. And by you doing these things, you're releasing old traumas, old pains, old hurts, what have you. And I know some of these are the same words, but you know what I'm saying. This is definitely the time to release. I want to read something else again. Uh, turn right to it. Turn right to it. And it is the second paragraph. It says the hallmark of a dysfunctional society is that the mind is expected to dominate the inclinations of the heart rather than serve it. The mind can be trained to be a great manager, creator, and defender of what has genuine value to the heart. but the power to feel what has meaning for us, what moves us enough to rise above our fears and risk growth, comes from the heart, not the mind. When the mind is given the task to feel and the heart is told not to feel, paralysis, confusion, and discomfort are experienced. So, you know, and although this card is coming out, and I told you, like, you, some things have to be direct. This is that brain like energy that we were just talking about. Um and it's because for some of you, some of the decisions that you have to make is heart wrenching, meaning this will break this other person's heart. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't say this. But it's that manipulative type of energy that you're dealing with. So you can't deal with it from a, I'm sorry I have to do this, but I have to leave. No, you have to go in and say, no, I have to leave. Because if I don't leave now, then something worse is going to happen. It's that putting that final stamp on things, you taking control of the situation, right, and not the situation controlling you. And so, but you do have to find that balance, like the card was reading, because in it you are able to decipher better what are the options that you have that will take you to the next level, and then what are the options, or what are the things that, what are the steps that you have to take, so that you will not be complacent and stuck in situations that you don't need to be in. So I hope this helps somebody. I know it will, um, because there was a time over this past week I had a chance to observe myself, and I started observing some, I'm not going to say some behaviors, but some, a thought pattern jumped back into mind, and I was quickly given a message by a young lady who didn't even know me, and she said some things to me, and I said, wow, wow. So that let me know that Spirit is like sending me some messages saying you're on the right path. Don't doubt yourself, right? Because it's easily to, you can easily doubt yourself. And I want to share this because we don't see that enough on Instagram. We don't see this enough on reality TV shows where people have self doubt, and some things that will cause it. But we all have self doubt to some certain extent, even no matter how big of a pop star your star is, no matter how much of a bad, what people claim to be, there is some self doubt there, and you see it in their actions, you can hear it in their tone of voice. And the fact that I was silent and didn't say anything let me know that there were some things, that I needed to start doing again to get out of the energy. So as I'm flipping, just shuffling through the cards, the Seven of Cups came out because it's like you have options. You have better options, is what I'm hearing. You have better options than the things that was placed before you beforehand, that you was dealing with before. So as you're making those hard decisions to leave people, places, and things, just know that you have better options coming for you. And I do want to share the card again because it says initiation by air, right? That was the oracle card. I just want you to see that there's a lot of wings present. There are a lot of wings. It's time for you to take flight. And again, you have to pluck out the dead things, the damaged things. You have to face them. It's time for you to face them. Bottom of the deck, bottom of the deck, the lovers. So for some of you all, it is a love situation that's holding you back. Whether it's a past love or somebody that you was recently dealing with, like you have to not allow people to have that much control over you. That's why I cringe when people when I see a serial dater, meaning they jump out of one relationship and go straight into another because they don't allow themselves to heal. They don't allow their minds to process the months, the years, however, the weeks even, of the things that they went through with this person before they jump into another relationship. Is because they don't have this clearing. So they come with all this baggage. And that's how the baggage process starts. People don't want to deal with things. Um, so if this is you and it's dealing with the lovers, then maybe you have options out there. Don't let one man or one woman, one person um, stop the show. You're the main event. You're the main course. And those that's meant for you will come towards you. Those who's not meant for you will not come towards you. And that's fine. Because 11:11, as I'm reading this, because you don't want everything to, you don't want to accept everything. You want something new and fresh and something that's for you. You don't want, uh, and I hate to say this, but I do have some friends that say, I never want to drive a used car. I want my cars to be new. So they buy new all the time. That's that's just what they want to do, right? And it's almost like you have to get into that energy when it comes to the dating world. I don't want what I've had before, something new. I've been down this road before with similar situations. I don't want to go through these situations again. And once you say that, then you understand that you're a different person, you have a different mindset, you're going to speak differently. And so you just want to experience life differently. You don't want to do the same things over and over and over again because it gets you nowhere, right? It actually causes more restrictions. And what is tonight's reading about? Getting free and letting yourself go of those restrictions, no matter if it's a person, place, or a thing. So this is just again a Monday night review of sorts of what types of things we need to work on for our healing process. And for those that are just joining, in short, it is to clear out the negative energy, the spaces, unplug from the TV, unplug from people who like to gossip around you. Let's say that. Sometimes if we're I'm a part of an organization, it's actually several organizations. And there are times when I just need to unplug and unwind from them. I need to get away because I need to have my own space. I need to have my own identity. I need to um, reset. And there's nothing wrong with resetting. There's nothing wrong with resetting. So thank you, Ash. I see you. Thank you for all that joined. Again, if you feel like this message needs to be heard from someone else, please share it with them. Mm, I'm sorry. I just saw something. Some of y'all would catch it in the replay, but I just saw something that was amazing. So it lets me know that it's definitely a message for somebody out there. But anyway, I hope you all have a good night. Um, Tune in again. Tune in tomorrow night for Cards and Conversations. It's going to be 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. You can catch my live or you can catch um, Love Anye tomorrow, and you will see everything that we're going to talk about. I will say this about the show. It has definitely pushed me past some of my limits a little bit, just a little bit. I didn't have too many limits, but I will say that each and every time the conversations are things that need to be had. And in closing, I would say this: a part of letting go of things is to have conversations with people, whether it's with the therapist, the person, no matter if the person is a family member, somebody on the job. You have to first have that conversation to let these things out. People are not mind readers. Um, Spirit is always there to help you vocalize the things that you cannot vocalize, which is why a lot of people come to these channels because they're like, there's something going on, but I don't know what it is. Let me tune into tarot. Tarot gives you that voice, gives you that aha moment. This is what it is. This is what's happening in my life that I need to address. You don't allow those things to continue to happen, you address them. And that's a part of communication. So I'm just going to leave it there. You all have a good night. Again, thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.